Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back, really. Welcome back to Wistoria, Tsurugi no Wistoria, Season 2, this time around. I would have recorded it earlier, but I just kind of forgot that it's coming out, because I saw the 00 episode come out, and I saw that it was just a recap, and then I just kind of started waiting for another episode, and I just kind of forgot. But it's here, and the next week it should be a little bit more on time, I hope. But Vistoria, I remember really enjoying this show. I remember enjoying the art and animation, and mostly story. the story and the world building, right? Like world building in Wistoria was very, very intriguing, with the whole sky being no, like a false sky, right? Fake sky that was put up by the very first Magia Vander. I did refresh a little bit of terminology and character names so I don't fumble around. But yeah, the whole dome put up, and artificial sun, artificial moon. Supposedly, if it falls, there's gonna be some calamity. So we don't know what is there outside of this little dome. It probably doesn't cover the entire world, so question is what's going on the outside. Is it actually a hellscape, or is it just regular world, and everybody's wondering what the fuck is that dome over there? We don't know that, and that's cool and that's mysterious. The last few episodes, I think, of season 1 also introduced some sort of other wizard group that wants to destroy the dome, and they are portrayed as the evil ones because, well, they will destroy the dome and calamity will befall us all. But will it? And also, maybe this time around we can actually stop the calamity, right? Like Magia Vander in their tower are basically supposed to be researching and trying to figure out ways to destroy the calamity once and for all. So there's that desire to do that, but the evil wizards want to do it prematurely. That's like kind of sort of the vibe I'm getting. I don't know. And it was also revealed that Will, our main character, doesn't have magic of his own, but has the power to imbue his weapons with magic of other people. Right? Like in the final battle with the big bad monster, Sion cast a fireball or whatever it was at Will. Will caught it with his sword, and his sword was set ablaze, and that's how they won. And anything else worth mentioning? Right, I really, really liked the thing where everybody is a wizard except Will, except our main character, and not in a way of, well, everybody kept telling me I'm not a wizard, but I'm actually the strongest. Right, the magic tablet said my level is -1, but it actually did an integer overflow. Right, not in that way. He like genuinely cannot cast a fireball for his life, but he has superhuman strength, superhuman reflexes, superhuman durability like that of dwarves, and is really good with a sword, and presumably other weapons as well. There's also the whole mystery around Rosti Nauman, which kind of leads pretty much everybody, I think, to believe that he is some sort of a proxy for Elfaria, Will's childhood friend and first and current love. I'm sorry, Colette. And she's probably like Rosti is probably her puppet, and she's living through him through like a proxy. I don't know. something's going on there for sure. And there's also that one other character, Lyril, I think. Lyril Mars. I do have a list of characters on the other screen. Or no, Iris X Stelmaris. Yeah, Iris. It was Iris who was also mysterious, and she also had like a double, not a double personality, but like she was pretending to be a classmate, but wasn't really. I can't quite recall 100% what it was exactly, but perhaps we will recall that in episode 1. We'll see. Maybe they're gonna show us a little bit of a recap. And what? That's about it. That's about it as far as previous season is concerned. What do I expect from this season? I don't know. I don't think we even have an episode count. I just know that each episode is 24 minutes, duh, as if they ever are any other length. And I think the same studio is working on it, and the same cast of characters, and the same cast of voice actors, I think. And that's about all I know about it. So how about we just jump in and start? Yeah, I thought for a moment that I didn't press record. Okay, so how about we just jump in and see for ourselves, shall we? So first of all, you're gonna need your subs to follow along with me, or if you don't want to bother with subs and want to watch the episode here, picture in picture, you can go to my Patreon if you'd like, and picture-in-picture versions of those episodes are over there. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show, and to hear my own voice because of the isolating headphones. And I'm gonna have to ask you for support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, it costs absolutely nothing to do so, and it helps the channel a lot. And with that, we can start watching Wistoria Season 2 Episode 1 in 3, 2, 1, go! Magic Proficiency. Yep. We have our full elemental team. Yeah, I have a sneaking suspicion that Will actually does have some sort of magic, but it's like the forgotten kind of magic. Like instead of being focused outwards, it's focused on inwards, right? That's why the superhuman ability. Kind of like strengthening magic or a buff running 24/7. Ah, maybe he doesn't have any magic. Ooh, nice drop. We're gonna go through all the colors. I love the angles they have in this anime sometimes. Yeah, here's our team. And of course, he's screaming. He's always fucking screaming. What was that? What was that? Human experiments or some shit? Okay. I'm down. I'm absolutely down. Hmm. Nice. Another perfect 100. I hope you can't hear the cars outside. I can, but it's probably because my mic amplifies the sound so much. Yeah, gotta study. Gotta get straight hundos. Okay, so we're not getting any sort of a time skip. Right, because Eddie Boy is doing spell work. Hmm. Knowing Eddie Boy, Will's not getting full points, is gonna find some sort of bullshit to fail him. Of course. The worst enemies became a part of the group of the best friends. Yeah. Nobody can resist Will. Beautiful architecture. Of course, everything comes back to Will. Mm-hmm. Studying and getting failed by Eddie Boy. What you gonna do, Colette? How are you going to take advantage of the fact that he's asleep? Gonna try to steal a kiss. uh, of course. No. Whatever gave you the idea? He's also fairly resilient, so, you know. Oh, and you're probably saying that in front of a member of Magia Vander. Yeah, you tell her, Colette. Eyes closed, eyes closed. Yep. Still holding a grudge. Okay, so in this episode, it seems like we are simply getting reintroduced to the cast. All the members of Magia Vander. All the members of Will's classmates group. Terminalia. Okay, so they're gonna have to, like, refresh the barrier, I guess, once a year. He's plotting something. What bullshit are you up to, Eddie boy? Something possible only with magic. Okay. And Will wouldn't have any idea about it because he's not using magic. He doesn't know the sensation of using magic. Getting worried, Sion. Yeah? Yep. Yep, that's a question, like, specifically tailored against Will. I mean, That kind of works, doesn't it? The question is very subjective. Anybody can only ever answer with their own, with their own experience. And this is Will's experience. Yeah, Eddie has some sort of a problem with the tower. He got rejected from the tower, didn't he? There is some truth to it, but only if it actually comes from the point of concern, not from the point of malice. And this absolutely comes from the point of malice. Yeah. Oh? Oh? Why did fire react to his emotional outburst? Whomst. Oh, hello, Julius. You fucking tsundere. Yeah. His feelings are a little bit more complicated. You wouldn't understand, Julius. Big magic circle. Whomst. Is something going to go awry during the Terminalia? Will is going to save the day and is gonna get 6 points to Gryffindor. TMI. TMI, girl. Okay, we're getting a recap on the Magic Dome. Okay, so they're not really strengthening it. They're recreating it. Something tells me things are not going to go well this time. I don't know why I'm... Oh, that's a shaft head. Everybody's a lord, just Zio is a bro. Well, we don't know that because we can't really, peek outside of the barrier. Lend me your strength. I'm lending you my strength. By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet. Oh? Oh. I thought they fizzled out and the barrier wasn't recreated fully or something. But no. Everything went well. So far. Aha! The headless dude. Okay, what's that? Bunch of magic circles. Are they going to, like, collapse the tower or destroy the barrier or... Hello, Lord Zed. Where's Rita? That's a lot of Lord Zeds. Right, and thus they can't... Okay, interesting, cool. Well, we have new Magia Vander in the making. +1. So, your plan could still well be thwarted, and probably will be, let's be honest here. No spoilers, please. Alright. That's the episode. That's the episode. So, let us watch it again, shall we? Oh, and I forgot to mention, but most people here are probably people who were here for the Wistoria Season 1 reaction, so you probably know how it works. My little booklet of theories, if I have any, I will note them down. Although nothing really, like, jumped out at me, to be perfectly honest, in this episode, so I'm probably not gonna be noting much. And also, we're gonna go through the staff and the VAs, but really quickly, because to my knowledge, nobody has changed. But, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. So, yeah, only magic matters, only magical ability. But there is one person who does not have magical ability. He only has sword, and he still yet aspires to climb the tower. This episode was mostly a recap episode, like, let's be honest here. There were some things in the OP that I thought are interesting. Yeah, that's the witch, who is going to unite Werkner and Eddie Boy somehow. She was their classmate, so entirely plausible. I'm gonna leave myself plenty of space for Witch Hat Atelier, which, if you like fantasy magic shows, you really should give it a watch. Reaction is also on the channel. Highly recommend. 2 pages should... Yeah, 2 more pages should be enough for Witch Hat Atelier. Wistoria S2. I really should get like a binder with like those, you know, paper sheets with holes in them, so that I can always insert another page instead of a, you know, notebook. Regardless, what was I? Right, the new witch. Do we have a name? The name was mentioned, but it just kinda forgot what the name was. She mentions it at the end here, right? What's her name? Welcome to New Year's Eve. Yeah. Everyone's doing well. Urbus... Oh, no. Urbus Rigarden is the name of the city. Urbus for city, Rigarden proper noun. Okay, what's your fucking name? Claire Serra. Okay. Claire will somehow help Ed and Werkner see eye to eye. Eye to eye. There we go. Now let's go back to the beginning. Oh, right. Opening. Where was it? Yeah, those two and her. I think it was before that. No. Great angle, by the way. I really enjoy shots in this style, and generally speaking, imaginative camera angles. Yeah. Walking. Those two. We see... Oh, that's... I thought it's a member of Magia Vander, but no, that's the dwarf and the cook from the inn that Will works part-time at. Eddie Boy is with them, and Claire and Werkner, which leads me to believe that this little crisis that happened in today's episode might actually be a longer arc. Maybe. I can see that happening. I can see it actually lasting 12 episodes. Or maybe not 12, but like 10-ish. Right? I don't think it's something that's going to be resolved within, like, next episode Will grabs a sword, smacks everybody on the head, and problem solved. It's gonna take time. And I can absolutely see this entire group having to team up. Yeah, especially since Lord Zed is prominently featured in the OP as well. Where was that little moment that I paid specific attention to, that I noticed specifically? Those are some red things. Okay, I thought they are coming out of Will's sword, but no. It's a separate thing. This is interesting. This is Will, isn't it? This is Will. His heart is burning, or something's going on with his heart. His ears look sharp in some frames, like an elf's. In general, he's looking very bestial. There are, like, glowing bits coming off of him. I wonder what's that all about. I'm just gonna note down Will's true form. Will's true form. Remember what I said about Will's magic potentially being focused on the inside? Maybe this is Will's magic. Right? Like pure magic that's inside of him. Completely, shedding the skin, all the layers, turning on magic vision. This is what Will looks like. Will's magic, Will's aura, whatever you want to call it. It does not extend on the outside, but empowers him from the inside. Maybe. That's a possibility. Final exams, yeah, Will scored perfectly everywhere. We are being reintroduced to the staff members, to the closest friends, Kiki, Colette, Rosti. We re-established their relationship, right? Rosti is very intimate with Will, and Colette is very jealous of that. And this episode re-establishes kind of the suspicion that Rosti is some sort of a familiar of Elfaria. We know that Elfaria can use magic to create ice clones, which leads me to believe that that's just gonna be Rosti. Yeah, the headmistress, 2 more members of Will's group. Like ice and water, yeah, sure. Like ice and fire, complete opposites. Each of them more proud of their own of their own magic than the other one. Both of them vying, pining for Will. The 2 last missing members of the main cast of teens, Wignall and Lihanna. Their personalities a bit of a recap of how they changed through Will. More establishing bits of their relationship. I hate the Magia Vander, and it shows us Rosti with his upper portion of his face completely blacked out, which implicates. It has an implication that, yeah, that Colette is talking about him, her, Elfaria. Because of the spell Albisvina cast, yeah. Yet she doesn't do a thing, she's merely waiting in the tower, and that's just... And Rosti doesn't like that either, Rosti slash Elfaria, which is probably why he's providing Will with all the gadgets, trying to help however she can through Rosti, right? That's my read on it, at least. She is feeling guilty that it's Will left down there and having to climb the tower towards her instead of her being able to descend, so she's trying to help him however she can. And her eyes are closed, which again tells me that she's probably looking through Rosti's eyes right now. A reintroduction of the Magia Vander. Eleanor, Zeus, and of course Eddie Boy is being Eddie Boy. We all got used to his shenanigans by now. I'd like to think his Snape, but nothing. He's essentially motherfucking Severus Snape, except he doesn't have that always moment. Or at least I don't think he's gonna have that always moment. I think the backstory of Ed is basically that he thought he's gonna become Magia Vander. He failed. He did not get into the tower. And now he takes issue with the fact that he himself, such a great, amazing fucking mage, could not go there. And here comes nobody who can't even use magic, has aspirations to go there, and wants to go there. No. Because if he gets there, if he gets into the tower, then that means he's somehow better than me. And I also think there are some undertones of... in Season 1... in Season 1, Ed seemed to be very aggroed, for the lack of a better term, by Will saying that he wants to climb the tower for love, that Elfie is waiting for him there, and he's doing it for the one he loves, and that really, really aggroed Eddie, which makes me think that perhaps Ed shares the same history. He also liked a girl, or a boy, I don't judge, who went off to become a Magia Vander, but Ed failed. He could not get to the tower, and their relationship thus fell apart. And it's his jealousy for Will speaking that Will actually might have a chance. And no, I won't have it. I was not able to do that. And this underachiever, I'm gonna make really fucking sure he's not gonna be able to do that either. Very simple question for anybody who cast magic at least once. Not for Will. Explain the sensation of casting magic by putting it into words. Right. Yeah, this is purely an empirical question. This is a question that you cannot answer through theory alone. All of Will's book knowledge just became useless. Right? Will is skilled at knowledge. He reads a lot of magic books. He learns the theory. He knows all the theory. He is skilled at practice, in so much as fighting monsters counts as practice. He can fight them, just not with magic. But magic is not something that he knows. So basically the one and only thing that could have failed him sans like a direct task of cast a fireball and I will judge the look of your fireball and you're gonna get points based on that. But that's more of a practical exam, and we know that there are no practical exams in this school, or rather, practical exams are going down into an incredibly dangerous dungeon and fighting monsters and gaining points for that. Yeah, Will knows what magic is to him, and granted, the question was fairly subjective, but still, he's not really writing on the topic of the feeling of casting a spell. He writes on the topic of the feeling of magic, the meaning of magic to him, not the feeling of casting a spell. I believe there's a power that can surpass even magic. The power of love. Or the power of friendship. We know that the power of friendship is like the strongest power in anime. So, the most important foundation for a mage. I mean, he's not entirely wrong. Right? That's the thing here. Ed is not entirely wrong. That question is something that any mage should be able to answer. Any mage with any sort of insight into their own magic. Right? This is also a magic academy, where we kinda require that students know magic. So nothing he did is, outside of the curriculum, outside of the expected, but he did target well. That much is undeniable. But of course, yeah, he has the easy defense of, well, it's a question that you could realistically expect on an exam. It's not like I made a question that said, if your name is Will, you automatically fail, right? I gave a question that is about magic, and we teach about magic, and they learn about magic. You're the ones in the wrong. What are you playing at? Letting someone who can't use magic into the tower? Do you intend for him to be a test subject? You fool, this isn't a joke. In our world of magic, a sword cannot become a wand. You've lost your minds, both you and the headmistress. See, he's very active and very assertive in what he's doing. That's another thing that clues me in on Eddie having some sort of a history with the tower, because it's not just passively bigoted, right? Like, oh well, he's a fucking muggle, he can't use magic, of course I'm not gonna let him pass, this is a school of magic, right? His angle is different. He can't go to the tower. He's not supposed to go to the tower. He's not worthy of the tower. Everything in the context of the tower. Right? Yeah, there is certainly some element of jealousy, and there is some backstory to Eddie that we do not know. Perhaps he has a history with Claire? Claire went off to the tower. Eddie Boy stayed as a teacher. Maybe. It is the greatest kindness I can show him, only if you were actually coming from the place of kindness. Because I can argue that what he did could be perceived as kindness, right? Instead of letting someone continue on a journey that is doomed to fail, you're just telling him, hey, stop, it's not worth it, you're not gonna be able to do that, I'm going to spare you the effort, I'm going to spare you the disappointment, right? I'm not gonna let you do that. There is an argument to be made. I still personally believe that it's better that someone makes an attempt and fails, because you can learn a lot from a failure, than stopping someone from even making an attempt. But an argument could be made. Problem is, it's a backwards argument in that it's a retroactive justification, basically. This is not the reason why he failed Will. The reason is different. This is only his excuse. 7,199. So, like what, missing 1 credit? Disqualified from the tower. Okay, what do we have here? Rigarden. Officially Urbus Rigarden, the capital of magic. It is the capital city of Rysant, or the inhabitants of Paradise. A great metropolis that stands at the center of the world of magic. Mercedes Collis, the wizard's tower, welcomes the 5 most powerful wizards, the Magia Vander. Rigarden Magical Academy boasts the world's best magic education program. The Abyss Gate is the first gate leading into the dungeon. The city's many important facilities bring in talented fledgling mages from all over the world. The city is also called the Land of Legend or the Land of Beginning for driving of celestial host. And Terminalia and the Barrier Festival. Do not ever leave this undone. It must always be built, whatever it may take. Send the barrier to the edge of the sky. This is why the Magia Vander exists. The words of a certain mage queen. I am always here with you. That's Elfie. Like, that's absolutely Elfie. And you cannot argue otherwise. Yeah, Julius is still a little more Tsune than Dere towards Will, but he's gonna come around. He's absolutely gonna come around. I mean, Wignall came around very easily to, like, this point of protecting Will's honor. Sion came around also very easily with his very Tsune, only I am allowed to defeat him, right? He can cross his wand only with mine. Julius is gonna come around as well. In this Magic Academy, in this world, magic is everything. It is an undeniable truth, yes, that the whole entire society was built around magic. But a sword does not belong here. I would dispute that. If I'm not mistaken, there was one more seat among the Magia Vander. Yeah, there's one open seat among the Magia Vander, which leads me to believe that the missing seat is for the sword. And that it's some sort of a thing where, okay, yeah, magic is cool and all, magic is strong, but it's the strongest when it's buffing the sword, right? So I can easily imagine where way back when, back in the days, there was one sword user with a sword at the center, all the Magia Vander casting magic at their sword, and the sword imbued with the magic of all elements would, like, cleave the monsters apart. And I can easily see that being the case here, where when the barrier falls and the world is exposed to the celestial host, whatever it is, I can absolutely see Will getting buffed by all his peers with all the elemental magics and being able to defeat the celestial host that way. Yeah, I can absolutely see that being the case. I've always seen that Notan as an enemy, right? Of course, Baka. He really infuriates me and I plan to defeat him myself, but the opportunity for that has passed. Yeah, I only wanted to fight Will. It's Terminalia, the annual greatest of festivals. All three of us were always together. Kinda like Will, Rusty, and Colette. Kinda, sorta thing, maybe. Could be me up there one day. Right, this dude is an announcer, isn't he? Reconstruction of the Great Barrier. People did not know of the sky. This world was locked in darkness, but then a mage created the thingamajig, and it lights our sky. Mercedes and the Great Mages. 500 years ago, seems like enough time to forget the sixth mage, the Mage of Sword, the Muscle Wizard. Yeah. Effective for 1 year's time. Iris Churchill. Right, she's the watcher for the Wizard Tower. She's their spy among the students, essentially. Alles klar. A bunch of Elder Futhark and some unidentified runes. Hell something Dolebist something Amrage, I think. Maybe that's Gebo. Yeah, that X with the weird things in the middle could be Gebo. And the... Oh, also I see Perthro and something next to Perthro that I don't recognize. Yeah, that could be Gebo. The weird, like, triple X with the middle thing could be Wunyo. I don't know. Maybe it's just not Elder Futhark, and I don't know any other Futharks, so... Maybe I just don't recognize the characters because I don't recognize the alphabet. Let us begin the barrier celebration. Yeah, the 5 biggins. Everyone's lady, everyone's lord, just Zio is a bro. And he is a bro. He very much is a bro. I really think that he would... I mean, he already likes Will, as far as I can recall. But yeah, he would like to hang out with Will, for sure. Even now, the Celestial Host still targets our world. Yeah, here's the thing, you don't really know that, do you? There's that assumption that outside of the barrier, there's the Celestial Host that's like pounding at the barrier, trying to get inside. But we don't know why. We don't know where that Celestial Host came from. All we have is like knowledge history from 500 years ago. We don't know if situation has changed, right? It would be a very interesting thing, a very interesting resolution if the weird, like, dark mages manage to destroy the barrier and it turns out that it's just fine. Celestial Host already fucked off somewhere. The armies of demons aren't here anymore. You didn't actually need the barrier for the past, like, 200 years. Would be interesting. This paradise is under threat even now. You must uplift the sky, lend us your strength. Flame crown, lightning throne, earth altar, primordial darkness, then light will become a boundary that is the enemy of the celestial. I really thought that something's gonna go wrong with the ritual itself, that somehow the barrier is not gonna be complete, or it's going to fail completely, or something like that. But I think we are going to leave the barrier failing for some other time, right? It's something in a much more, longer time span from now. Now we only get purple text and purple magic circles and a bunch of Lord Zeds appearing, laying waste to the city. Now then, it's time. Presumably, they are now going to aim for the top of the tower to destroy the barrier. Which is an interesting choice since the barrier is currently at its strongest. It's been freshly cast. Unless they have some specific way of destroying that barrier regardless of its strength. I don't know, we'll see, we'll figure it out. Let the party from hell begin. Oh, and those are spoilerinos, so I would rather not, if I can help it. Where are you? There you are. There we go. Let's give a quick look at what's up with this show. Studio Actas, Bandai Namco. I don't think anything changed here. Actas, Girls und Panzer, Princess Principal, first season of Wistoria, more Girls und Panzer, more Princess Principal. Studio Bandai Namco, Gintama, Samaho Shoujo show? No, idol show. Rock is a ladies something, A-Rank Party, and Wistoria Season 1. Gintama the teacher. Nothing really changed there. Yeah, we don't know the number of episodes. We know it's releasing in 24 minutes. We don't know the number of episodes, which gives me hope that it might be listed for 24. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Whoop. Stuff. Original story probably hasn't changed. Character design seems the exact same. I want to check the ones likely to have changed. Director, art director maybe. And we don't really have that many other people. So, director, Toshi Aoi. Director. No! Character design, not director, sorry. Character design on season 1 and also art for the source material for the source manga. So, probably the best person for the job. Hideaki Nakano, the episode director and storyboarder for Wistoria Season 1 and straight up director for Season 2. So that has changed. I wonder if the director for Season 1 also got some different job on Season 2. Tatsuya Yoshihara, okay, got promoted to chief director. Makes sense. And then we have Yuki Maeda, art director for both seasons. Characters, I have not noticed any changes in voice actors, so I don't think we need to go through them. Just, just for completeness' sake, I'm gonna check, like, the main... Oh, Rosti still doesn't have VA listed. Yeah, let's check the main group of people. Kohei Amasaki, the voice of Will in Season 2. The voice of Mephisto in Arknight's Fall in Tate no Yusha. The voice of Will in Season 1. Satomi Amano, voice of Colette and voice of Colette. Masaki Mizunaka, voice of Diablo. And the voice of Sion. And the voice of Sion. Nothing changed. Tetsuya Kakihara, Julius, and Julius. Lin, the voice of Lihanna, and the voice of Lihanna. Kengo Kawanishi, the voice of Wignall, and the voice of Wignall. Akira Sekine, the voice of Princess in Princess Principal, but also Elfaria. And I don't think that changed. Yep. Tomokazu Seki. Werkner. And I don't think that changed either. I probably skipped him or missed. Yeah, we're at 2017, but I don't think it changed. Koji Yusa, Eddie Boy, and Eddie Boy. Okay, nothing changed as far as VAs are concerned. Staff changed a little bit, not terribly much. All right, so that was a serviceable first episode, I'm gonna say. Serviceable because I don't really have that much to talk about here, right? Like, we didn't get any big reveals, we didn't get any big fights. The purpose of this episode was to reintroduce us to the world and reintroduce us to the characters, and it did that job, right? It did the job perfectly. I remember now who's who, what's going on, what's the world all about, and it also got us a little bit of a cliffhanger, big thing happening, monsters attacking the city, what's gonna happen next? See you next week to see what Will is gonna do, how's Will gonna save the day. Again, perfectly served the purpose of being a recap and a teaser for the rest of the series. Great art, great animation, as always, or rather, as has previously been the case in Season 1, although we haven't seen much fighting, much, dynamic movement, and Season 1 really excelled at those, so I'm gonna have to see those to actually, fully judge it. Good performances. Kind of a weak opening, if I'm to be perfectly honest with you. I'm not a huge fan of the OP. It seems way too generic. Opening in Season 1 was much more memorable. This opening is just fantasy anime gets an opening there. Generic fantasy opening. Actually, do we know who made the OP? CG director, theme song performance, OP, Ashidahiro. Also did OP2 for Blue Lock. Right, so not the same people who worked on Season 1, and Shiui for the ED that we haven't heard yet. Not involved in Season 1, but ED for Witch from Mercury. So that's good. That is good. Anything else that bears mention? Not really. As I said, very introductory episode, reminding us what happened in the previous season, reminding us of the characters, of the stakes, and stuff like that. And it did the job. So I'm gonna have deeper insight with episode 2, I think. But right now, I'd say that's gonna be it from me for today. But maybe you guys have something more to add on the topic of this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that. If so, say so in the comments down below. No spoilers, please. Spoilers can go to my Discord here, also in the description if you'd like. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe and click the bell to be notified of future episodes of Wistoria and Witch Hat Atelier and others coming in the future. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube down below. On Patreon you get access to picture-in-picture videos of every video I release. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing to do so, and it helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Fleur Nightingale, Dr. Watt, Akamancer, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to be tested by Eddie Boy.